I think this one could be a really good seller for you guys. One thing I've learned over the years is signs sell great, but if you can actually add functionality to your sign, that's even better. Today we're going to use the stencil of the month for April of 2026. And don't forget, if you're an executive member, you get this for free. But we're going to do that, and we're going to make a leash holder, and I think this thing's going to be super popular. Don't forget, everything we're using today is over at the website makeawoodsign.com. Let's get started.
For this one, Dad decided to use a piece of plantation cedar that he got from his buddy Mickey down in Texas. This stuff is beautiful and it carves great. He cut it to 8x17, which gives plenty of room to carve the stencil outset and also to have 4 hooks on there for your leashes. So Dad started out with a profile bit at just below 1/4 inch deep. Now, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll start out carving a little bit shallower, maybe around 3/16, something like that. But this particular board, we've only carved once, but it carves so stinking nice. And also there's quite a bit of room in between each letter. So it does give you a little bit more leeway to carve deeper starting out. However, if you're new especially, but you find yourself having kind of a hard time keeping a straight line, it's always a better idea to start out shallower because you can always go deeper. It does make it a little bit more difficult when you're carving deeper initially to get a straighter line because there's more drag on the router bit. So if you find yourself having a tough time with that, start shallower and then work your way deeper. I think you'll find that that makes it quite a bit easier to keep a good line. One really nice thing about carving outset, which I've always found to be a little bit easier than carving inset, especially when it comes to letters, is that you don't have to get your line perfect on the first try. There's a lot more room for error. So you can see in several areas, Dad's actually going over the same line multiple times. That way he can get his first initial line, then come back and kind of straighten it up a few times as he's carving. You have a lot more room for error, so don't think you got to get it perfect the first time. Now for carving the box around the letters, what Dad's doing is he's pulling the router towards him. You'll notice, at least for the initial line, he'll push it towards the front a little bit to kind of clean it up, but notice that right here on the long straight lines, which is one of the hardest things to carve, Dad actually turned the board so he's pulling the router towards him. If you have long straight lines to do, try to position either yourself if the board is really big or the board if it's a little smaller to where you're pulling the router towards you. And you'll notice that his fingers are actually running along the edge of the board to really help guide him to get that line straight. If you're trying to go left to right to get that thing straight, it makes it pretty tough. Now to take everything out around the letters, Dad's using the 90 degree at 1/4 inch deep. And now a lot of people ask about the texture that we use. And it's not really like a signature texture. We just use the 90 degree bit and we go in and take everything out in kind of random patterns, and that gives that rough texture. You'll be amazed how many people, when they're looking at something you made, they'll touch it. They'll touch the background of anything outside. They're like, oh wow. And it's a cool look. Now, the deeper you carve, generally, the better your sign is going to look. That's one nice thing about these router bits is, man, you can sink those things in the board nice and deep. This thing has a lot of texture to it, and it's got a lot of depth, which just makes it look so nice. Once the carving was done, then Dad used a stiff bristle brush to really get in there and get all the extra little chips and sawdust out before he did any spraying. For the edge, Dad's doing a deep scallop with our 45 degree chamfer bit. He always says that he likes to take it a little bit farther than he should because it gives that scallop a step. And again, with your border, the deeper you go, the better it's going to look. Then he sprays the whole thing black with our black primer and lets it dry for, I don't know, 5 minutes. Then he sanded it off with the disc sander, and he used an 80 grit disc. This stuff isn't hardwood, so you don't really need anything rougher than an 80 grit. Then he used the random orbital with a 120 grit disc to give it a nice smooth finish. Then once that was done, he applied all of the finish before he did anything with the hooks. That way you didn't have to spray the hooks in order to get a nice finish on the board.
Okay, we got the sign done. I got 3 nice coats on here. Now it's time to put on some hooks. I've got these hooks, and I've never really done it this way before, but I'm going to put these hooks on. One of the things that's always drove me nuts is to have the hooks kind of cattywampus and cockeyed. I think I'm going to use Starbond to help me get these things exactly where I want them.
So one thing we tested before we did this is what this blue tape would do to the finish, because the finish was only on there for maybe an hour before we started this, and the blue tape doesn't affect it at all. So if you're going to do something like this, I would say this blue painter's tape is a good way to make marks on your board. That way you don't have any sanding to do to get any marks off. Now, Dad also used the blue tape, and he put it straight along the bottom line of the stencil, and that gives him a straight edge to actually measure and put the hooks on. And this little Starbond trick, this was genius, but it's only going to work if your hooks have a flat back. If it's hollow in there, obviously this isn't going to work. But for this particular one, it worked out great. Now, we did make a bit of a mistake. Dad kind of thought that if he used this little punch to make sure to get the screws straight, that it would be good enough. And it did work, but you can see Dad's having a little trouble getting these screws in. So what we should have done is we should have used a small drill bit and drilled pilot holes first. Also, we are kind of lucky that this didn't split the board. I think if this was like a wider grain board, it might have split, but it didn't. Pilot holes will really help eliminate any splitting depending on what kind of board you're using. But this little thing turned out amazing, and depending on the type of board you're going to use, I don't see any reason you couldn't sell this for 50 bucks most places. It really came out nice. In fact, Amy wants this one. I made one for a video a while back, but she likes Dad's better. Whatever. I'm not going to hold it against her.
I really love the way this thing came out. I carved deeper than I normally do, but it worked out great. I think it came out great. That Starbond trick, I'd never done that before with those hooks, and that actually worked. It held them in place while I center punched and put the screws in. It worked just like I hoped it would, which doesn't always happen. But anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. Don't forget that if you are an executive member, you get this stencil for free. I think it's going to be really popular. It's available over at the website, but again, executive members get this for free. So go check out our website. Everything we used here is over there, makeawoodsign.com. Thanks again for watching, guys. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.